guys, today I am making plant-based milks. These are super easy to make. Might be a little bit messy depending on what method you use or what type of milk you're making, but I can show you how to make it really quick and easy. Some flavored ones. I'm actually going to make a delicious flavored one in a minute, but I wanted to tell you why I'm going to make mine instead of purchasing it. So I live in kind of the middle of nowhere. I live in middle Georgia in the U.S., and it's 12 miles to the closest grocery store. Sometimes they have what I want, sometimes they don't. I have to drive 22 miles to another grocery store, and sometimes they don't really have, it's not a big grocery store, what I want, and I usually have to go about 90 miles to Atlanta to buy what I need. And so that's why I like to make my own. If you have a store close by where you can buy something that's nice and clean, then buy it. What do I mean by clean? So this one is a organic West Soy plain soy milk. When I read the ingredients, it does say organic. When I read the ingredients, it's organic soy milk, check. Organic soybeans, organic brown rice syrup in this thing, and sea salt. So if I'm okay having brown rice syrup in everything that I make today, then okay, maybe that's pretty clean. But this is probably one of the cleanest I can find. There is one that says unsweetened, and it does not have that. So that's the one I prefer to buy, but we accidentally pick this one up all the time. Just because we see the plain and think it's not flavored. But my number one rule is always read the ingredients. I even mess up on that sometimes too. Read the ingredients. So there is an Eden Soy organic that is just soybeans and distilled water. There is another West Soy that is just organic soybeans. So what if you don't drink soy milk? Well, we have to look at other ones too. So here's another soy milk. This is an organic soy unsweet, which is great. When I read the ingredients, organic soy milk, vitamin and mineral blend, and it gives you some different vitamins and minerals that have been added, salt, gallon gum, and natural flavor. What the heck is natural flavor? We don't know. And so this, I would say, only buy if you have to, right? Did you know you can make your own soy milk? So we're going to talk about that in a minute too. It's very difficult to find a nut-based milk or a seed-based milk, even an oat-based milk in the grocery store. Forget about oat milk. That does not have added gums or things like that, just to keep it kind of creamy. So here's my walnut milk. So it's so much fun when you make your own. You can have different nuts. So here's my walnut milk. Sometimes I have to shake it before I drink it, but it looks just like milk. Tastes delicious. Tastes like walnuts. Here's another one that I made that I've been drinking because it's my favorite. That I'm going to make it for you in a minute. This one is walnut and cashew. And look, I had to write a label. Anytime I make things, I always have my masking tape and my marker close by. In my refrigerator, I have to label it or I have no idea how long it's been in there or what I've done. So, things you can do to flavor your milk. So maybe you want a chocolate milk. Maybe you want it sweetened. One way you can do it is to use dates. If you use dates, make sure you remove the pit. These are medjool dates. They do have the pit in them. I would need to cut them open. I could sweeten it with, where is my stevia? I have some stevia here that I made. When you have stevia, let me see if I can squirt some on a plate. Stevia is natural. It is an herb. If you buy it in the grocery store and it is white powder, that is not what herbs look like. This is what color my stevia is. Can you see in front of that white plate? So if I squirt it out, it is not, that is not white. It is not clear. Stevia, the herb, is a green plant. And when I made this, the whole jar, like you can see I have jars behind me, I'm always making stuff. Everything in there was bright green because it's a green plant. It should not be white. That means it's been processed. And so today I'm going to make a sweetened chocolate pumpkin milk. I'm also going to make a cashew walnut milk. But you can make other milks as well. So I'm going to make the pumpkin milk. And I'll talk some more. But first I want to put this in some hot water to plump them up, soften them to make it easier to blend. So this is some water that I boiled right before I turned on the video. And so I'm using a half a cup that I'm going to be adding 3 to 4 cups of water to, depending on how thick and creamy you want it. So I want to talk about the different nuts and seed milks you can do and different methods. So one of the quickest and easiest methods to use is to use an almond butter or a cashew butter. This is a sunflower butter. Once again, read your ingredients. Make sure that there's no added palm oil or anything like that. If I look at this one, it is roasted sunflower seeds and salt. If I don't mind having a roasted sunflower seed, that's a better flavor, isn't it? And salt in my milk, I could use that. But the better thing to do would be use sunflower seeds, which I thought I got out, but I didn't get them out. Anyway, sunflower seeds, once again, half a cup to 3 to 4 cups. Brazil nut milk is delicious as well. Very creamy, very high in selenium, but you don't want to overdo it on Brazil. So if you do make a Brazil nut milk, don't make it as a regular thing. Cashews. Cashew milk is delicious. You could use cashew butter or cashews. Cashews are very high in fat, but they're a healthy fat. That's also something that I wouldn't do every day, but you could combine it with something like walnuts or almonds. See, I'm going to make the pumpkin seed one. I have my walnuts here. Pecan milk is delicious as well. And oats, and I forgot to bring my oats over. So you can use oat groats or old-fashioned rolled oats. Once again, you do want to soak them. We're still using a half a cup with 3 to 4 cups of water, and we're going to use that same method. So the easiest thing to do is to use a nut butter or a seed butter. And all you do is you put in 1 tablespoon per cup of water. So if I wanted to make, this is sunflower butter, really quick and easy, I just need a cup this morning for whatever we're having for breakfast, then I will just go over to my blender, put in 1 cup of sunflower butter in with 1 cup of water, blend it up, and there we go, we have our milk for whatever we need. So I like almond butter for that. The almond butter is a better flavor to me. Now almonds are very high in calcium, so don't worry about missing calcium for milk if you have almonds in there. Sunflower seeds and walnut seeds, I mean, all of these have really healthy fats in there that are good for you, and you still get them in the milk. Something else that I do is when I strain them, the pulp, I put that in my dehydrator and turn that into a flour, and use that for different things. And so I actually combine them all, but if I regularly made almond milk, which I did for a while, I made my own almond meal and almond flour, and that is very expensive. And so then I had my almond milk and I had my almond flour, voila. So something I wanted to talk about was soy milk. So soy milk is a totally different method than the rest. And I shouldn't say totally, it has a 2-step method. So these are soybeans. Here in the southeast, we do not normally buy or use whole soybeans. I'm gonna put them on the same plate. I'm not going to use them. So here are our soybeans. They're just tiny little balls. So soybeans, this is a raw product. If I was going to make soy milk, then I would soak my half a cup of soybeans. Soak them for a couple of hours. These pumpkin seeds, I use the boiling water because I'm going to be making it pretty fast. My walnuts and my cashews, I had them soaking for 4 to 6 hours. I can even soak them overnight if I want to. So this is just to soften them to make it easier in here. There's also health benefits to soaking nuts and seeds. So nuts and seeds are meant to be planted to produce another plant. That is their sole purpose. And so when we eat them, that doesn't happen, right? But they have a protective shell because birds and other animals eat them as well. And so they want to be able to pass through the body and still through the animal's manure or poop if they're flying over. I don't know if you've ever had watermelons come up somewhere else, that seed went right through, right? And reproduced. So when we soak them, we remove that protective coating so that we actually can get those nutrients and break it down in our body and absorb those nutrients. And so that's another reason why we soak them. So 1, to make it soft, and 2, so that we can absorb those nutrients. So right now, all we're going to do is, I'm not making soy milk this morning, but we would soak the soybeans, and then we'll proceed the way we're doing, just like we're doing, and then I'll tell you about step 2 for soy milk. Let me just make something. So this is a soyabella that I just got, and so we'll see how it goes this morning. I'm going to use it for my walnut cashew milk. You do not have to have a special tool. When I make the pumpkin seed chocolate milk, I'm going to make it in my blender so you can see that as well. So this is going to be the same method. First I need to strain the water off of my nuts and seeds. Sometimes I am amazed at how much dirt comes off of the nuts and seeds as well. This water is actually pretty clear for this. And I'm going to put it in this little strainer basket. So in my blender, I would just pour those into the blender base, right? And then I'm going to attach this to the top of my soyabella. If I can get it on there correctly. Make sure it's on tight because I don't want it to fall off or injure my blades. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to add water. 3 to 4 cups inside the soyabella. I kind of cheat because you should add it. There we go. If you use 3 cups of water, it's going to be a thicker, creamier milk than if you use 4 cups of water. Oh, we could also make, this is coconut butter. We could also make coconut milk. I'm going to set this in, plug it in, and I'm going to turn it on. With the soyabella, you run it through 3 to 5 cycles, depending on how fine you want it. Now, I don't want to have to strain it, which we'll talk about too, and so I'm just going to hit it 3 to 5 times. Okay, I ran it through my 5 cycles, so I'm going to unplug it. No, I do not sell soyabella or work for soyabella. This is just my new toy, so I thought, oh, I should do a plant-based milk video. So I'm going to lift it up, and for this, it's already strained in there. It has that nice little strainer there. I'm going to pour the milk. And you can see, so this one's walnut and cashew. You can see how pretty and creamy that is. There we go. And then all I have to do is take off that filter, and I can put what's left inside the basket in my dehydrator tray to make my own flour out of cashews and walnuts. And so here we go. So before I do anything else, I need to label it because I will have no idea what kind of milk this is. Walnut and cashew. And I'll put the date. Oops, did I have the wrong date? There we go. So that if I have others, I'll use the other ones first. Alright, so let me set that aside. Now I'm going to make my pumpkin chocolate milk. So here is my Vitamix. You do not have to have a Vitamix for this. In here, first I'm going to strain my pumpkin seeds. This one is going to be chocolate and sweetened. Now, I could have put a couple of dates in there and soak them in there. If you use dates, make sure you soak them. So if I wanted to sweeten it with dates, I would have put 2 to 3 dates in with the half a cup of pumpkin seeds. So there is my half a cup of pumpkin seeds. I could use a chocolate extract. Did you know you could buy chocolate extract? Or I can use cocoa. I would rather use cocoa, so I'm going to use a heaping tablespoon. That would be about a teaspoon per cup. And I'm going to add, this is almost 4 cups. Of water. Oh, and I didn't add my stevia. So I'm going to add stevia to this one because I didn't do the dates. So I'm going to just put maybe 5 drops of stevia. I could make it a mint. This is peppermint. I could add vanilla to any of them and have a vanilla flavored. Now let me bring the blender base over. I am going to turn this on for a couple of minutes. I want it to be nice and creamy and blended really, really well. Alright, here is my chocolate pumpkin seed milk. Now pumpkin seeds are very high in zinc and iron, very nutritious. So include pumpkin seeds on salads and things like that. The best way to absorb iron is when you eat it with something with vitamin C or drink it with something with vitamin C. I don't know if I would want an orange with my chocolate milk, but I could have some fruit or something with it. Most fruit has vitamin C. Your greens have vitamin C. Your raw fruits and vegetables have vitamin C. Bell peppers, kiwi, tomatoes. Anyway, I don't know how well they all pair with chocolate milk, but I just wanted you to know that. And where is my, oh, I'm going to put it in here. So I'm going to filter it through my little strainer. I'm just using the funnel to help me get it into the jar a little bit better. Pour it in. And here is our chocolate pumpkin seed milk. And you can see it's going to take me a while to pour it through because there are going to be some particles in there to slow it down. Now, if I wanted it extra fine, I could always put a cheesecloth in the strainer and pour it through there, which is going to actually take a little bit longer to do. So while that sits, I will tell you about the soy milk. So with the soybeans, we would do the same thing we just did. And we're going to strain it like I am right now. But then you would need to get a pot. And you would pour the milk. So pretend like this is our soy milk. We would pour this into the pot and we would cook it for 20 minutes. A lot of people skim the foam off. I don't really worry about the foam. But you need to cook it for 20 minutes because it is a bean. And so that is the only thing that's a little bit different from your oat milk, your nut, your seed milk. So with the soy milk, you make the milk like we are right now first. It will look like this, but then you do need to cook it for 20 minutes. Then I usually put it back in the blender and blend it again and then strain it. So that is the only thing that's different about soy milk. So it's a two-step process. It can get a little bit messy going back and forth between the strainer and the pot, and then you have to clean out the pot and stuff like that, which is another reason why I got my soyabella, because it does it all for you. It actually cooks it after it strains it. It has a little heating function. And so, like I said, I don't work for soyabella. I don't sell soyabella, but you can actually make soups, blended soups. It even has a grinder to make your own nut butters. I can put pumpkin seeds in there and make my own pumpkin seed butter or walnut butter or cashew butter, which is delicious. And so it's not very pricey. It was only like $100. And it even comes with a tofu maker. You can make your own tofu after you make your soybeans. Anyway, I'm really loving it, but I just got it. I'll tell you more about it later as I have more practice with it. Anyway, we don't need to watch this drip, but let me grab a spoon and a dehydrator tray and I'll show you what I do to dehydrate it. So you can see I have my chocolate milk coming out. It's going to probably need to be shaken up a little bit. If I stir this, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. The only thing is, if you do scrape it in a strainer, you're going to be probably knocking some of the pulp into your milk, and so it might be a little bit grainy, and so you may want to use a strainer if you're going to be using a spoon like this. Usually I'll use time, but I'm being impatient today, I guess. So here's my pulp. I don't know if I'll do it with the chocolate, but chocolate flour might not be too bad. And I just put it on my dehydrator tray like this, and then I put that in the dehydrator until it's completely dry, and then I just store it in the freezer with my other flours. So I have a Ziploc bag for each one. I do have one that I just combine them all and mix it up, which sounds a little bit weird, but it works for me. Anyway, let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you make your own plant-based milks and what your favorites are. And like and share my videos. Please comment and let me know about you and what you like and what else you would like to see. Make some plant milk. Enjoy.